Cooking free-range, wild meat has been a long-time passion of mine and is one of the main reasons us lads enjoy hunting and fishing as much as we do. I'm certainly no chef, but I love the challenge of adding new and exciting twists to the classic New Zealand cooking traditions that we all know and love. When Simon told me you could go and spear flounder in a nearby estuary, I was all about it. The prospect of spearing flounder seems easy, right? Well, if you don't have the right weather, gear, tides, or water clarity, it's a little harder than we anticipated. We managed to strike it wrong every time. But third time lucky, we came back with a vengeance. With a seriously overpowered light, the right tides, and a bit of good luck, we finally managed to get some flounder on board. This is our attempt at tracking down these elusive fish and making a damn good feed with the spoils of our hard work.
Oh! Got him! That's a good shot too, mate.
A wise man once told me that success is only found after wading through the mudflats of failure. I'm pretty sure that's what he said anyway. Our story didn't begin on this beautiful still evening near the coast of Christchurch. Months before this, Simon and I had a conversation about his recent outing spearing flounder in a nearby estuary with a friend of his. They went out at high tide, speared a few, and saw a few, but didn't think they'd hit it quite right. Well, I love flounder and wanted in on this gathering. So I jumped on the internet and started scrolling some fishing forums, grabbing whatever information I could to maximise our harvest. There wasn't a huge amount of information available, but after a quick flick through, there was one regular variable: low tide. So I ceased doing any thorough research and went ahead and devised my own plan. Head into the channels of the estuary at low tide and the flounder will be in concentrated numbers. Bingo, we had it sorted. My faultless theory. Well, unfortunately, that was not the case. We found ourselves wading up and down channels seeing one single live flounder and one legal dead flounder.
Tasty.
We then started looking at our setup. We thought our warehouse flounder light was letting us down, so we made a seriously bright new one, and went out again. Let me cut to the chase. Low tide was not the tahi. My great researching skills led us in the complete wrong direction. In our experience, after doing some laps in the Christchurch mud, high tide is the right time to target flounder, mixed with low winds and good water clarity. Had I done better research, I would have found that depending on the area you're floundering, tide can deliver different results. My bad. Our failures certainly made the gathering process far more rewarding.
Oh, what's this, take 3?
Yeah, will be take 3. Yeah. Failed attempt number 3 for sure.
Failed, yeah.
Well, hang on, yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, mate.
Pretty good conditions tonight.
Yes.
The water's actually in.
Yeah, there's actually water there. And water that's not in the channel, which is nice.
Beautiful. Oh, well, we'll go have a nudge, eh?
Quite picturesque, isn't it?
Indeed.
Bloody beautiful out here.
Before we got stuck in, we wanted to do a little side-by-side of our new homemade light versus the warehouse one. And although our homemade light performed extremely well on this evening, it turned out to be a one-use item. The light internals succumbed to the corrosive effects of saltwater, even though we had done our best effort to seal it from the elements. It broke after its first outing. We had a whole separate tutorial video made and ready to go, showing you how you could make your own version of this. But after I found out it wasn't working shortly after its maiden voyage, it felt a little wrong posting it, when it doesn't stand the test of time. Rest in peace, son on a stick. So with high hopes, we waddled into the tropical late winter waters. And quite frankly, we didn't even know what to look for. But before long, we stumbled across our first pātiki.
It's not far off though.
They stick out like dog's nuts. Yeah.
Spirits were high after seeing our first flounder, but they quickly dwindled as nothing we saw was large enough, and our less than stealthy approach cost us a couple of chances.
What's the verdict so far, mate?
We've seen a few, so the new boys know what they look like now, which is good. Just need to find a couple of decent size and we'll be in the money. That's the verdict.
I'd like you to edit my pre-game interview to sound a lot less confident.
What's involved with floundering, do you know?
Flashlight spears and Josh the good luck charm. What else do you need?
But finally, Simon spotted a decent-sized flounder. And having conveniently separated himself from the despairing gentleman behind him, we had a chance at bagging our first fish.
Got him! Woo! Oh, you beauty. He's a goodie.
It's good size flounder, man.
That's what we're here for. Me, bro.
I don't know how that camera went there, but
Probably got washed back a bit, didn't it?
We were chuffed to secure our first flounder, and a decent-sized one too.
How's your pre-game now? Do I need to edit that? Right,
Any more where that came from?
we need to get you boys one now. Oh, how good. 3 trips in the making.
The flounder were plentiful, but we weren't as slick as Simon, unfortunately.
Oh, there he is. No good? Nice and hard straight through him. Gone?
Yeah, you flipped on.
That's quite a good one. Now straight ahead there, bro. Yeah, oh, he's just gone.
Perseverance always pays off, and Josh finally found one silly enough to hang around.
See him there? Just behind the head. Got him? Got him! Yeah! Nice. That's a good shot too, mate. Well done. Your first flounder.
Great job, mate.
So 2 good sized flounder there for the boys.
seen a few now too, eh?
It's quite exciting now that I've seen what they look like.
You gotta be on the spear now.
Yeah.
Seem to be down this end a bit more, eh?
Definitely.
Which is odd because it's further away from the channels.
Unfortunately, our warehouse flounder light popped a cog, but luckily we had enough firepower in our homemade light to share around. Logan was now on the tools and wasted no time nailing down another partiki.
Yeah, boy. You stoned him. Well done, mate.
After this, things started getting a little too easy. We had enough time to stand over these two and have a rather lengthy conversation before we decided whether these ones were big enough to take. I don't know how we made it look so hard in the first half of this video.
Yeah, I'd say he's
Bigger enough? That's my boy's foot.
I mean,
He doesn't give a f***. Really?
You ready? I'm gonna get him. I think I got him.
Yeah, you did though. Oh yeah, it's the same size as mine, right?
I've spared him right in the fillet though. Good on you, Kieran.
That's your problem than yours alone, mate. No stress.
you have more flowers than you want to do with.
If you got too many, you can always try that microwave idea.
What was that recipe, bro?
Half a stick of butter and 2.5 minutes on 1000 watts.
After walking a few kilometres up the estuary, we decided to turn back around as we were starting to get close to our self-set limit of 6. More than enough for the feed we planned to make. On our journey back, we ran into another species that would have been a very interesting take.
Oh, look at him.
Oh yeah, spear there. True there.
Clearly attracted by the bright lights and the flounder dangling in the water, he actually circled back and swam through Simon and Logan's legs. Even big boys get scared sometimes.
You made me jump.
This dog, he's coming back. He's sick of us.
Once our heart rate lowered and we recovered from our near-death experience, we found one more flounder to finish off our catch. Logan made sure he did a real good job of this one.
It's gonna get murky. Did you miss him?
I'm just gonna wait for a moment like this, I think.
Oh, he's definitely. No, he might have got him just on the tip of the spear there.
I got him with the bottom prong only, I think. Josh, come put another one in it, mate.
Oh no, he hasn't been. Sorry.
You're kidding?
No, he hasn't. Yeah, you're on there.
Joking.
Pretty sure. Pull your other one up and see what happens.
What's going
So
on?
he's bring both up at the same time.
They're pretty deep in there.
You really yanked them in, eh? Oh, he's on that spear.
Oh,
You got him.
is there any other holes in there, or is it just this one? No, completely
Just that one.
I think you got him, mate.
Jeez, almost. Oh, hey, we're back. Almost overcooked him with that one as well.
Logan likes to put 110% into everything he does, but this isn't a great stat when he's gauging depth, I've found. My workbench suffered a similar fate to this flounder when we were making our light. I just hope he exercises a bit of caution when he's picking his nose. While it took several tries for us to achieve results, each outing where we encountered failure provided us with valuable insights into different approaches to tackle our floundering woes. It's often tempting to avoid trying something new due to lack of complete knowledge, but as long as you proceed safely, embracing a humble student-like mindset, situations like these can yield a wealth of knowledge and a willingness to experiment with fresh approaches.
Certainly showed up a few flounder, didn't we?
A unique one for sure.
G'day.
Probably lived
Getting out there going for a walk around the mud.
Good Strava entry.
So after a fair few failed attempts, it's nice to see the fruits of our labour finally in front of us. I was beginning to think that flounder didn't exist, but we've cracked it. Now we've got to clean these up and make sure they're fit for consumption. What you do in the early stages of harvesting food, any sort of meat, if you treat it well now, you'll see the benefits of it when you're cooking later on. So try and get rid of all this residual slime. We're going to cook some of the smaller ones as a whole fish, and then some of the bigger fish I'm going to fillet them. Let's get into it. So basically I'm just using my knife here to get the slime and the scales off. The scales aren't so important to get off because they're pretty small and you won't really notice them, but the slime's definitely going to make a difference with our final cook. It's important to note that we gutted and removed the gills from our flounder straight after catching them and chilled them as soon as we could. This step is important and stops your fish from smelling and tasting fishy.
Right, now we're down to filleting.
I'm not going to go through the process of how to fillet these as I'm no expert, but if you take your time and look at what you're doing, it's just as easy as any other fish.
Don't worry, these frames won't go to waste. These are going to be put into a stock for a later video. So now I've got the flounder cleaned up, put a little bit of salt on the skins just to draw a bit of that moisture out, but I'm still going to cover it because I don't want to lose the moisture in the flesh itself, only on the skin, so that when we cook that tomorrow, it's going to be nice and crispy. So that's the plan. So for me, catching the fish is only half of the fun. The next part of the fun is cooking it and making something really nice out of it. Commonly, flounder is cooked whole, and it's certainly the traditional way of doing it. Great way of doing it, lets the flavour of the fish shine through. But I just want to show with pretty minimal effort you can make some really nice food. So I'm going to do my own twist on things here and make a flounder taco. All these beautiful fresh fruits and vegetables here. I'm not going to go through all of the list of them, but I'll put that in the description and you'll see what we're using as we go along. Really looking forward to making something super nice, traditional and new, and I hope you guys like it too.
First up, we're going to make an incredible grilled pineapple salsa. Start by cutting your pineapple into quarters, then slice into long 1 to 2 centimeter thick pieces. Preheat a barbecue or cast iron griddle and char your pineapple. Preferably spray the pieces with cooking oil before you put them on the barbecue, but if you're pyromaniacs like us, give it a spritz when it's on the grill. It not only looks awesome, but will really enhance that smoky flavour we're wanting in the salsa. Once it's cooled, cut your pineapple into uniform 1 by 1 centimeter pieces. Dice 1 red onion. When preparing the ingredients for the salsa, try to keep the size as uniform as possible throughout. This ensures you get a bit of everything when you bite into your taco. Slice a few Cayenne chili peppers into rounds. Feel free to use hotter chilies if you're that way inclined, or not at all if you're not into spice. We kept the seeds in for a bit of extra heat. Grab yourself some canned corn, give this a little char in a dry pan to build some more flavour. Dice a bell pepper into some nice sized cubes. Again, trying to keep the sizing consistent.
So we've got all of our ingredients cut up, ready to go for the pineapple salsa. This part I'm pretty excited about. So basically all we're gonna do is just combine everything. So the pineapple, bell pepper, the chili, red onion, corn, and then a bit of coriander, a bit of lime juice and some salt and pepper, and that should be beautiful, nice and acidic and tangy. A little bit of something to throw on the taco and give it a bit of life.
Now move on to your fillings. Slice some cabbage as thin as you can. A mixture of red and white would be more aesthetically pleasing and give a bit of a peppery punch, but white does just fine. Now, julienne a couple of carrots. We have a mandolin which makes this job super easy. This device will give you nice consistent thin cuts. I highly recommend getting one of these to speed up your prep time in the kitchen. Did you know, on average, about 500 people a year in New Zealand get admitted to hospital with avocado-related injuries? In that case, safely procure your avocado and carefully slice it into thin strips.
Just to add another element to the tacos, we're gonna make a little Chipotle mayo. So we're just going to use equal parts of Best Foods mayo and sour cream, then add a bit of this Culleys Mexican Chipotle sauce, and then a bit of lime juice as well, just to loosen it up and add some more flavour.
Now we're painting the picture. Sweet pineapple salsa with creamy mayo and some crunchy fillings. All we need is our fresh caught fillets of flounder. Add a few cups of all-purpose flour, seasoned with some Cajun seasoning and a bit of salt and pepper. Dust your flounder fillets with this mixture. Now before you put these tasty flounder fillets in your pan or grill, ensure you oil the fillets and your cooking surface. Make sure it's ripping hot, because if it's not, it will stick and that'll ruin your day. Once you've put them on the grill, don't move them until they've had a bit of cooking time and the chance to release from the surface. Hot and fast is the key here. You don't want to overcook the fish. Finally, spray some oil on your tortillas and toast them up in your grill or pan. Now it's time to put these puppies together.
So there we have it, beautiful fish tacos. Now the only thing left is to give this thing a try. I have to give you the rating. Pretty damn good. Well, those are fantastic, man. Pretty easy to put together too. Lots of fresh ingredients, super healthy. Just an awesome alternative way to eat your fish. I highly recommend you try it.
The beauty of these is you can throw all your ingredients on a table and let your family and friends just hook in. They're so easy to make, require no special equipment, and are super healthy and bloody delicious. Now it's time to see what the critics have to say.
What's your thoughts, Kate?
I'm excited for another one.
You can really taste the 3 hours we spent out in the freezing cold trying to fucking catch these things. God, it makes them taste good.
What about you, Simon? Sorry, mate, I asked you right on the mouthful. So we're going to cook these whole flounder the more traditional way, classic Kiwi, on the barbecue. All we're going to do is score the meat, add a bit of lemon juice, some salt and pepper.
One thing I didn't add is to put some olive oil on the skin, and later on in the cook, add butter on top too. You can add whatever you want, garlic, onions, herbs, spices, the options are endless.
Well, there's our traditionally cooked Kiwi classic flounder. It's always good cooking on the barbecue, you get that smoky flavour. And if you've got mates around, you can just pick away at it. Here it is. It's flounder.
Better than a fish taco.
Oh, it's meant to be cooked.
Can't beat the lazy man's weight.
Do you think it's worth going through the effort of making the fish tacos?
No.
There is clearly some disparity in the prep time of these two dishes, but there is zero doubt how much better food becomes when you incorporate a few more items and put some care into them. The food you make doesn't need to win any awards or use any sort of fancy ingredients, but thinking about how you can elevate what you gather and putting effort into the process always pays dividends.